Mohammad Ali Ibrahim है. Thank you, sir, for accepting my invitation for the podcast.
You're welcome. Thank you, Waleed, for inviting me.
सबसे पहले आप जो है वो अपना इंट्रोडक्शन करवा दें ताकि मुझे और ऑडियंस को समझने में.
So, Waleed, I am currently looking after the marketing and communications at Hashoo Group, which is one of the leading business conglomerates in Pakistan that has business interest in hospitality, real estate, tourism, and many other sectors. So it's been slightly over 4 months that I've been part of this group and really enjoying the challenging role. Before that, I was associated with Jazz and Mobiling Bank, where I had the fortune of working on both the telco side as well as the financial services side of the business. And before that, I've also worked in the development sector, specifically focusing on education policy, governance, and reforms with organizations such as GIZ, Pakistan Reading Project under the USAID umbrella, Aga Khan Foundation, and all.
Okay. Okay. Very nice. Can you share with us your journey from your early education to your current role as a president of marketing communications at Hashoo Group?
So, so I think that's an interesting journey so far. You know, normally, if I now look back in retrospect when I was studying, and if I answer the question, would I be where I am right now? Perhaps not, because my undergrad was in software engineering from one of the best universities in Pakistan, Fast National University. And this is back where in 2000, when there was a lot of you know, focus on Y2K, Millennium Bug, and everything. So everybody was talking about what's information technology going to offer in terms of how the overall technological landscape unfolds, given the Y2K phenomena. So I was actually reimagining my career back then, that okay, I'll make something in software engineering. But as time went by, I found myself to pivot into the development sector. Worked for nearly 10 years in great organizations, specifically focusing on education policy, governance reforms. I still remember uh, my journey with GIZ back in 2010, where education was devolved to the provinces from the federal ministry, and got an opportunity to work with nearly all provinces and areas, specifically focusing on action plans as to how the curriculum, the budgeting, the provincial plans would be developed, executed. So that was a very, very uh, good exercise where did some exciting work. Also had the opportunity to work and author some of the sector plans that were implemented in due course in different areas and provinces. So that was a very, I would say, very, very uh, satisfying, as well as something which were enriching in terms of my learning experience. And then, you know, one day I got an opportunity to pivot myself from the development sector to the corporate sector, and got an opportunity to work with one of the biggest names in the telco industry, Jazz. Back then it was Mobilink, and it was an exciting time because when I joined, the organization was undergoing a merger with Warid, which used to be one of the previous telecom operators. So that was back in 2016-17. It was a time when the industry saw one of the biggest mergers to take place in the country. So again, with the team and all, did a lot of exciting projects and everything till 2023, when I was offered this position at Hashoo Group. So it's been an interesting, turn of events and really exciting initiatives that I've been able to contribute and be part of. Some really wonderful team members, mentors, and all that has really contributed into where I am right now.
Very nice. Uh, You have an extensive background in various sectors, from telecommunications to international development. How did diverse experience shape your career path?
I believe diverse experiences has helped me a lot, and this is something which I really value. And my message to the youth as well would be to not be afraid of taking some assignments or any decisions which can really challenge your comfort zone, because normally while it's good that you play on your strengths, but at the same time be courageous to take on some initiatives where you perhaps do not have any information about that particular sector or anything, and you it just requires basics that you need to apply. Basics, when I say basics, it's about putting in those hours of hard work. That's number one. Persistence is key. Even if there are challenges, do not be shy away from taking on and them. Make sure you ask the right questions, have good mentors, and believe in yourself. Whatever your core competency is, apply it to the best of your potential. Read a lot, and that will really help you to diversify your experience, because as you grow into your professional career, and specifically if I talk about how things have changed on the professional front post covid, in covid, you would recall that a lot of us were challenged into with the way that we were working. We were we were accu- we were now, after the covid, we were accustomed to working from different locations, jumping on zoom calls and everything, wherever we are, making sure that the work gets done. So I believe a lot has changed in the last couple of years, and this is going to continue as we go forward, and especially when you see these different technologies being introduced in the domains of artificial intelligence, augmented reality, virtual reality. So it's important that you also diversify your education as well as experience accordingly as well, because the more you diversify, the more foundations you will be able to cement in different areas, and your own learning will also will get better and better with time.
Okay. Uh, as a head of marketing and communications at Mobilink Microfinance Bank, what were some of the key challenges that you faced, and how did you overcome them?
So I believe in my previous role at Mobilink, it was a very good learning stint for me as well. And some of the challenges, I wouldn't say a challenge, but I would say actually an opportunity to do something different. Um, and this is something which I learned uh, while we were implementing different strategies with marketing and communications, was that how do you educate more and more people with Mobilink Bank's customer base, which spans across Pakistan. So you had to communicate, you had to advocate, you had to educate a lot of people from different backgrounds, different provinces, different areas. uh, so one size fits all strategy would not work. So you had to really understand कि आपके जो customers हैं वो किस जगह बैठे हुए हैं, उनकी क्या requirements हैं, उनको किस टाइम किस चीज़ की ज़रूरत है, and then you make sure that your communication and marketing channels and strategy are aligned on to that. So I think that was the question that we used to ask on every campaign, on every initiative, that how do we make sure that whatever we are advocating, whatever we are communicating, is actually being understood, being aligned with the user's interest as well, because that is what will eventually help us understand that whether something worked or did not work. And at the same time, I'm not saying that everything used to work on the word go. There were many times that we had to, see what we had implemented. If it was not making a lot of engagement, a lot of desired results that we had initially envisaged. So you always have another plan. That अगर अच्छा ये नहीं हुआ तो आप दूसरे पे चले. As I said, persistence and consistency is key. You really need to understand कि customer की requirements क्या है, and you need to be quick to come up with other plans and other activities as well. So that was something that was key. That was was used to be kept in mind while implementing different strategies. And I believe together with the team, we were really able to take some of the marketing and communications work literally from scratch to where it is today. As we now see the modeling pages on different forums, whether it's LinkedIn, whether it's Facebook, whether it's other channels and all.
Okay. Can you discuss the importance of digital communication in today's corporate landscape based on your experience leading digital communication strategies at Mobilink and Jazz?
सो आई बिलीव इट आजकल के दौर में डिजिटल कम्युनिकेशन इज़ वेरी वेरी की, क्योंकि एक तो ये हो गया है कि कोविड के बाद यू नो दैट वर्क कैन बी डन anywhere anytime, and for this, in order to get communicated, you need to have very core reliance on digital communications. Internet is key, connectivity is key, and एट द सेम टाइम आपके जो ऑडियंस है, कस्टमर्स हैं, पोटेंशियल कस्टमर्स, एग्जिस्टिंग कस्टमर्स, देर ऑल प्रेजेंट ऑन वन सोशल मीडिया और द अदर. इसी तरह अगर आप देखें, रिसेंटली देयर हैज़ बीन अ ह्यूज ग्रोथ इन द इन्फ्लुएंसर्स कैटेगरी where they have been advocating certain brands and all. So it is very, very important that you really leverage the power of digital media in today's corporate landscape and make sure that you are present everywhere where your existing or your potential customer is, because that will really help you to not only advocate, to educate or introduce new initiatives that you and your organization are taking, but also at the same time, you can also keep yourself well informed as to what some of the things are happening in the industry, what some of the other partners are doing who are also in the same space, and also keep yourself informed on global best practices as well. Because I firmly believe that one should always be open for learning, and I'm a perpetual learner as well. So it is very important that you embrace digital communications in its full form. That will help you and your organization to benefit, not only in terms of making sure that you do a better job uh, going forward, but also at the same time really be out there in order to serve your customers to your best of abilities.
ओके, आप जो टेलीकम्युनिकेशन का फ्यूचर है वो किस तरह देखते हैं? लाइक जिस तरह भी जो इलॉन मस्क है वो स्टार लिंक वगैरह जो सैटेलाइट के ज़रिए से वो उसका जो है वो कर रहा है, तो इस तरह फिर जो फ्यूचर होगा टेलीकम्युनिकेशन का वो किस तरह आप इसको देख रहे हैं? व्हाट डू यू थिंक अबाउट दैट?
So I believe I can connect this with the previous question as well. Connectivity is going to be key. आजकल के दौर में one cannot even imagine कि भाई if you are not connected, तो वो एक आपकी एक necessity बन गई. It's like part of your life that you need to be connected, whether it is with your loved ones, whether it is with your peers, professional colleagues, your friends, your customers. Everything revolves around being connected and using connectivity. So I believe the role of communication platforms, communication providers will grow as we go forward. So it is very very essential that you will see more and more introductions of new technologies, new interventions in this space.
Very nice. Your role at Creative Associates International involved policy management for the USAID Pakistan Reading Project. What were some of the most rewarding aspect of that experience?
So I believe it was a very great experience, because I was part of this team that was implementing reading initiatives to in the early years of children when they were going to school. How do you ensure that their reading gets better? Because you know as we grow older and we were past students back at one point in time, I believe if I recall my childhood, there was a lot of emphasis on reading, because when you read something, even to date, I really like to pick up a small article, a small newspaper clipping, and read through that, because it really changes your perspective. It really makes some improvements in the way that you have knowledge about a certain thing, or if you do not even have some knowledge, you can actually gain something by reading something. So this particular project that I was involved was about making sure that reading is improved in the early years of children who were going to school. And it was very, very rewarding when you saw that the results of the children were better after the intervention of this particular program. So I think that was very, very rewarding when you actually see that children were benefiting and they were able to grow into their educational careers through this initiative.
Okay, very nice. And by the way, what's your age now? Age आपकी
I'm currently 42 years old.
42. Okay, nice. How did your time at the GIZ contribute to your understanding of sustainable development and project management? Dutch, I think, gives it's like French GIZ.
Yeah. So let me see if I can, recall my German pronunciation back in the days. So it's Deutsch Gesellschaft für National Zusammenarbeit. I hope I've pronounced it correctly. So it was GIZ, and really had a wonderful time back then. I worked for nearly I would say 6 years at this wonderful organization, and did a lot of exciting work, specifically in the focus of education sector plans and education management information systems. I believe the work at that time really contributed significantly towards sustainable development and project management, because they at all times there was a lot of coordination, a lot of communication, a lot of projects going on in parallel at all times that used to span in different parts of Pakistan. And every project was designed with a view that, okay, how are you going to make sure that this is going to sustain on its once the completes its course of action, making sure that the partners who are there or will be introduced at certain point in time, they will continue to implement this program to its fullest and all. So I think that was really, really essential, where it helped me really improve my understanding of sustainable development. Because every initiative, because when we used to design a particular program, it used to have so many different indicators, different milestones, different goals and all. And every goal had to be again broken down into specific objectives and all. So at any given point in time, there used to be pages and pages of different program interventions and everything, and there was further differentiation in different programmatic interventions and indicators as well. So we all had to make sure that whatever initiatives that were being executed were implemented with a view of sustainability, and also ensuring that everything, because everything was time bound, there were timelines in place, the responsibility matrices were also designed. So a complete project management cycle was also exercised as well. So there were responsibilities, and we had to make sure that for every progress review meeting, we had to report on the progress, that okay, how are we doing on a particular activity, on an individual capacity, on a programmatic level as well, and at the same time on an overall project level as well. So it was very, very fulfilling that when you used to see the program on a zoom out level as well as on a zoom in level as well. So it really used to help us improve our understanding of project management as well.
Okay. You have also worked with UNESCO, I think, and Aga Khan Development Network. What were the most impactful projects you were involved in during your time with these organizations?
So I believe Aga Khan, I think it's a very big organization, and does not need any introduction. And I was part of the Akhan Foundation team, and this was my first, stint in the development sector, and that really got me excited. That okay, if I were to do something which when I look back and I see that there was so much satisfaction, because the work which I and but together with my team we were doing, we could actually see, real life, changes taking place in the lives of children. So that was very, very satisfying, and that was one of the reasons when I embarked on this particular career, and I said that okay, once I go for my master's program, I would like to specialize in project management, because I would like to continue working in this space, because it was very, very rewarding that okay, whatever you're doing, it is actually translating into making a particular person's life better. And if you can make sure that, and this is something which I also carry, that if you can give back to the society in any form, and especially if you can educate a person and make him or her be able to carve their own professional career, whether they want to do a job or whether they want to do a business of their own, and can can do something differently than what their, let's say, ancestors were doing. I believe that would be something very, very satisfying. If you can see them prosper, that is even more satisfying. So I believe this is something which working at this particular organization really helped me to really understand okay, how I would like to carve my professional career and take things forward.
Okay, very nice. Could you elaborate on your involvement in education initiatives, both at Aga Khan Development Network and through your academic pursuit at LUMS?
So education is something that I believe is something that you can continue. It does not necessarily have to be just limited to a particular education institute. As I said, learning is something that you can do on your own. You can learn from your mentors, your peers, your subordinates, friends, colleagues, family members, and all. So I would say that education can be done formally as well as informally through your networks and all. Similarly, what I said in my experiences at Ahan and other organizations, they have all been very, very rewarding, because every assignment has really helped me, improve my understanding of different sectors. Similarly, see that okay, what is the impact of different initiatives on different people. And at the same time, when I say that I was very humble and very privileged to go for my master's program at one of the best universities in the country, Lahore University of Management Sciences, LUMS. And as I said, when I went to Aga Khan Foundation, I was clear that okay, when I go for my master's program, I would want to pursue a program that can help polish my project management skills. And when I was making a decision which program and which university to go to, so that was very, very clear for me that one of the best universities, that is LUMS, offer a very, very rewarding program in management discipline that can help shape one's career.
Okay, very nice. You completed your MBA with your majors in project management and finance. How has this academic background influenced your approach to leadership and decision making in your professional roles?
So I believe there was a lot of influence, or learning from my MBA program that has really helped me shape my decision making and leadership in my current and previous roles as well. Because uh, because the MBA program that is taught at LUMS, it is completely case based, and you in any particular day you need to prepare for a case study and go prepared, and then you need to participate in the class by contributing towards the discussion. So you need to contribute to the discussion in real time. You do not have a lot of time to think over, so you need to really, really be proactive. You need to be alert that okay, what kind of discussion is going on, that the professor is stating, and then whatever your classmates have already said, how do you actually add value to that. So it is very, very it is something which you need to do and practice in real time, and that is something which I was able to carry forward in my professional roles after graduating from LUMS. That how do you take a decision in real time, specifically when you are pressed with time. Your Perhaps you want to take something where you need to ensure that resources are effectively utilized time is also utilized constructively, and you can also make sure the organization grows as well. So I believe the overall experience going to LUMS really helped me in terms of my leadership and decision making exercises in my professional roles.
Okay. And what inspired you to pursue a career in marketing communications and sustainability, considering your background in software engineering and technical consultancy?
To be honest, I wasn't expecting such a a shift into marketing, communication, sustainability. But I believe that fate has a plan for everybody, and as I said, I've never shied away from challenges. So this is something that opportunities have presented themselves, and yes, I've taken them with complete trust that yes, if the hard work and the consistency and the persistence would be there, then you can really champion any kind of task or challenge that has been presented to you. So honestly, I did not pursue a career. It is something that shaped up, and I'm very humbled and very privileged that yes, I was able to make pursue a career in marketing, communication, sustainability, although I started off with my undergrad in software engineering.
Can you share a memorable success story from your career that illustrates the impact of effective communications and sustainable initiatives?
I believe there will be many, but if I were to perhaps think about one memorable story from my career, so I would say that something that I think pivoting from the development sector to the corporate sector without a degree, without a degree in telecom, and having no experience working in the corporate sector, and really coming in from a different background and help, and then continuing from there, and especially focusing on communication sustainability. I believe that would be a success story from my career, that how that pivot, that change from one sector to another sector really helped me to propel my career forward. So I believe that would be my success story.
Okay, and what advice would you give individual looking to transition into roles that
So I would say that uh, So, Walid, I would say that again, something that I've also said before, but would like to reinforce that and emphasize even further, that please continue to learn in any capacity. Do not shy away from learning. Always be open to learn new things, new technology, new advice, and everything. And it can come from anybody. uh, it can be from, as I said, mentors भी आपको बहुत अच्छी एडवाइस देते हैं, आपके peers भी देते हैं, आपके फैमिली के लोग भी देते हैं एडवाइस, आपके सबॉर्डिनेट्स भी दे सकते हैं, आपके छोटे बहन भाई भी दे सकते हैं. So one should be open to learn from every person that they are interacting with on a daily basis. So that's number one. Secondly, as I said before as well, do not shy away from challenges. Yes, अगर आपको कोई challenge करता है comfort zone से, so take that positively, because uh, yes, comfort zone perhaps will help you stay comfortable for a couple of years. लेकिन जिस तेजी से आजकल एडवांसमेंट्स आ रही हैं करियर प्रोफेशनल करियर्स में टेक्नोलॉजी की बदौलत, I would say that challenge yourself, because you are going to do yourself an advantage if you challenge yourselves today. If you continue to remain in a comfort zone, yes, perhaps the next couple of years, few years would be okay. But after that, you will perhaps see that आपकी उस यानी you will then question yourself कि अच्छा कुछ हो नहीं रहा लाइफ में. There's not something that motivates me. uh, Everything is happening day in day out is the same kind of assignment, same kind of things and all. तो वो उस टाइम ये ना हो कि आप में वो आ जाए कि अभी रिग्रेट ना हो कि भाई why did not I take that decision 2 years back when I was presented with this opportunity. So be open to embrace new challenges, opportunities. Be open, ask the right questions, connect with mentors, see what's happening globally, look for new inspirations and all. There are so many going forward. हमारे खुद अपने मुल्क में हमारे इतने ज़्यादा अच्छे startups वगैरह आ रहे हैं आजकल, doing some wonderful work in different disciplines and different thematic areas. Go and see these brilliant young minds and what are they doing, how are they using technology to address a particular challenge or a solution for any kind of वर्क दैट दे आर करंटली इन्वॉल्वड इन. तो एक ये बड़ा अच्छा लगता है कि जब आप इस तरह से आप माइंडसेट लेकर आएंगे, पॉजिटिव माइंडसेट, बिकॉज चैलेंजेस आर एवरीवेयर. नॉर्मली माय एडवाइस टू यंगस्टर्स वुड बी के also embrace positivity as well. Yes, there are challenges in our country, but yes, then अगर हम नहीं चाहे सॉल्व करेंगे तो कौन करेगा. तो embrace that positive mindset, that is also very very key. If you think about कि हाँ भाई ये चैलेंज है, ये चीज़ नहीं हो रही है, वो नहीं हो रही है, तो ऑटोमेटिकली आउटलुक भी आपका उसी तरह से शेप अप होना चाहिए. तो these are some of my advice to the youngsters. If you can practice these things and have a positive outlook towards life and yourself, inshallah you will be able to grow professionally, which will also be personally rewarding as well.
ओके, वेरी नाइस. एंड आई थिंक सारे क्वेश्चन तकरीबन जो है वो जो मैंने लेने थे हो गए. एंड लास्टली जो है वो 30 मिनट्स के से ऊपर हो गए हैं. तो आप आपकी फेवरेट बुक एंड फेवरेट मूवी, तो बिफोर क्विटिंग.
अच्छा, सो फेवरेट मूवी आई वुड से कई कई है मेरी फेवरेट मूवीज, बट ये आपने बहुत मुश्किल सवाल मुझसे पूछ लिया. आई थिंक would say Braveheart मेरी काफ़ी, I think it was a very nice movie. The Shawshank Redemption, that would, I would say, be another great movie. So yeah, so these are the two movies that really come to my thought right now कि जो मेरी favorite movies रही हैं of all times.
एंड फेवरेट बुक.
Favorite book I would say would be Atomic Habits. This is a very good book. I think I would also recommend you to read it as well. इसका book का अगर if I can share a small overview of the book is how you can build good habits, and let go of some बैड हैबिट्स ओवर टाइम. तो नॉर्मली अगर आपसे कहा जाए कि आपने ये काम करना है, ठीक है, तो और एकदम से आपको लगेगा कि भाई ये तो बहुत ही बड़ा टास्क है, बहुत ही डॉन्टिंग एक टास्क है. सो वो एक बड़ा ओवरवेलमिंग हो सकता है at initial when you have that particular thing pressed to you. But if you break that task into smaller tasks, तो और आप एक गोल लगा लें कि भाई मैंने हर रोज ये छोटा छोटा गोल मैंने अचीव करना है. तो you basically what you're doing is you're breaking the entire big task into sub smaller tasks as well, and then each day or whatever frequency you want to set, you continuously make progressive movements towards reaching the eventual goal. तो उससे होता ये है कि eventually when you after some time, let's say after a month or 3 months or 6 months, आप देखेंगे कि आपके अंदर good habits होना शुरू हो जाएंगी और जो गोल या खत्म करना चाहते हैं वो आपकी कम होना शुरू हो जाएंगी. तो eventually you're going towards positivity. So it's a very good book. It's a small book and I would highly recommend people to read it.
ओके, थैंक यू फॉर आपका अपना कीमती टाइम देने के लिए. एंड आई लर्न रियली लॉट. एंड व्हाट्स योर लास्ट रिमार्क्स अबाउट दिस टाइप ऑफ पॉडकास्ट एंड हाउ वाज योर एक्सपीरियंस?
So I think इस तरह की चीज़ें होनी चाहिए. It's always good to have a casual conversation with people, and especially I always enjoy speaking with the youth. Abhi, you're also a youngster, so great initiative. and keep up with the good work. And yep, this is something that you're doing, actually a very good cause. You're bringing, you're sharing life examples, you're putting in the efforts to make sure that मैं वही कहता हूँ ना कि अगर आपका, even if one person can benefit and can उनकी लाइफ में आप पॉजिटिव चेंज लेकर आ जाए, so I believe that would be very very satisfying. So I think great work, Waleed.
Okay.
Please continue
Thank
with
you.
the.
And by the way, आप लाहौर से हैं? Which city do you belong from?
I'm from Islamabad, but I keep traveling. My work it takes me to different places and all, but I keep traveling.
Okay. Thank you and for joining, and it's a very grateful experience.
Thank you so much,
Okay.
Waleed. Thank you. Stay blessed. Allah
Okay.
Hafiz.
Allah Hafiz. Allah Hafiz.